Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Oki for those who don't know me, and today we're going to be talking about sampling inside of Ableton Live 10. Yes, I know Ableton Live 11 came out, but I'm fairly certain that this will work for both of them, and I know that there's a ton of people like me who, for the most part, are probably going to stick with Ableton Live 10 for now until I make some fucking money, because there's no way in hell I'm buying Ableton 11. Today, I wanted to show you guys how to sample inside of Ableton Live 10, and mainly it's because I know that inside of this DAW, you can have the same type of fun that you might have with, let's say, an SP404SX or an MPC. And by no means am I comparing the two, and I see the benefits of having an MPC and I see the benefits of having a standalone sampler. But if you can't really get your hands on the gear right now, or if you're thinking that you have to get your hands on a piece of gear in order to start chopping samples, like a lot of other people are doing, I want to tell you that you're wrong. And I want to tell you that you can 100% do it inside of Ableton Live 10. And I'm going to stop talking and show you how to do it right now. I've actually loaded up a sample that I'm quite fond of already. Over here, it's actually from one of my favorite up and coming producers, Mulate. If you haven't checked him out, be sure to check him out. It's from a splice kit that I got from him. But yeah, so we're gonna be opening up a new MIDI track. So let's just quickly ditch what I had open here. So we're gonna be opening up a new MIDI track. Let's pretend that everybody's a new Ableton user here, just to make things as transparent as possible. It's gonna be Control-Shift-T. And you'll be opening a new MIDI track, in which you will then go to your instruments on categories and open up a simpler. Now, the simpler is an instrument and a stock VST plugin inside of Ableton Live 10, where you can drag audio samples into it and use it basically as a sampler. Now, all I'm gonna do here, there's a couple ways. Of course, you can just drag the sample in from wherever the source is. So if you have it in your files, or if you have it on Splice, for example, like I did, you can just drag that directly into here. Or for this case, I wanted to check out the sample first. So for those of you who want to hear it, very nice, very beautiful sample. Rhodes, definitely very, very tingy. You know, you can hear the tines. I'm not 100% sure what the sort of the audio characteristics of that are, but it's super, super beautiful. Anyway, so we're just going to take our sample, literally just drag it and drop it into our simpler instrument in Ableton Live 10. Now, this is what got me for a while personally, and something that I'm very lucky to have had figured out. All you're going to do on the left side here is go to the slice mode, and natively, it seems stock, it comes or it'll start to slice the sample by transient, which in some cases might be okay. Definitely give it a test out, but you can obviously see there's way too many chops. The characteristic of this sample, I'm definitely going to want to be letting the chop ride out every time. So having something like this would probably have me pressing down on too many keys just to make something cohesive. So on the bottom section over here, right next to the big trigger, we have a slice by section where we can hit this drop down and select beat. Currently it's on transient, so that means if there's anything that pops out in the waveform, usually like a kick or a snare, or something that's kind of loud, or a change in the audio, I should say, it'll put a chop there. But what we're trying to do is get it by beat, right? So right now it has a division of 1/4. You can change this all the way up to 1/8 if you still need quicker chops, for example. So if I wanted to play it like this, right? Obviously that's way too freaking fast, and I would never be doing that. But if you wanted to play it and have that much control over sort of how you're chopping up your sample, you definitely can do that. Personally, I kind of enjoyed the half division. That seemed like something that worked a little bit more for this sample when I was testing it out, to make sure that there's some potential to this video at all. So the halftime seemed to work good, and the playback is going to be in mono. The reason why you want this in mono for the most part is if you're chopping like full samples, you wouldn't want them to start playing over each other. And I can very quickly show you what I mean here. So let's say I did it in poly. And you start to already notice that some of the samples were playing over each other, which is not such a pretty sound, especially when you have full chords playing through. Of course, there's always a time and a place for this. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you can never sample this way, but for the most part, it's probably something that I wouldn't do. So I will keep it in mono. Now, you can use your keyboard, right? I'm pretty sure it's Control K. No. M? No. There we go. So if you didn't know, to get your keyboard to act as a MIDI controller, and for those of you who can't see, wait, no, I have a keyboard cam right here. Perfect. Oh, my camera turned off? Shit. My apologies. Let's get further into this. Let me move this cup. I feel like it's going to be someone's pet peeve. Of course, similarly, you can achieve this with, you know, a sampler like the SP404. You can achieve this also if you had like a drum pad, for example, like the Novation Launchpad here. You can use your MIDI keyboard. You can use your regular stock keyboard like for your PC, whether it's an external keyboard or like an actual laptop keyboard. You can virtually use anything. So there's a lot of different ways that you can execute these chops per se. For me personally, I'm going to be playing them on my MIDI controller or on the Novation Launchpad, just because it'll be, you know, a little bit funner. Yeah. So basically, in order to try and get it to pull up on your keyboard, I know I'm going through this again. So in order to use your regular computer keyboard, all you have to do is press M, and basically this little icon will light up. Similarly, you could also just click it, and your keyboard is now your MIDI controller. Use the Z and the X button. If you can see here on the bottom left, it's giving you the octave range. And for this specific situation, C1 to D2 is going to be the octave range for our chops. So right now, right, so I have a little bit of control here with my keyboard. I might even go 1 bar and give that a go. What I'm really trying to go for is, you could see a couple of switch ups here, and you know, there's other notes being played as the chop continues through. So what I'm hoping for is to kind of create a unique rhythm out of it that wasn't there before. And that's sort of the fun of playing with these types of samples, is that everything is going to be, for the most part, in time, as long as you're playing it on beat and as long as your sample is optimized to do that, which is why sample selection is super important. But I'm not here to preach about sample selection. I'm here to show you how to do it. So just to overview very quickly, we're going to open our instruments, simpler. We're going to drag our sample into the actual box of the plugin here, the simpler instrument plugin here. And then we are going to select slice by beat, and we are going to select the division. Currently, this is what it looks like if you have a loop in 1 bar mode. And yeah, let's just find some chops, I guess, and make a quick, simple beat just to show you how the whole thing gets executed. And we should be on our way. I'm trying not to make this a long video because I want to be able to roll out quick, effective tutorials for you guys just to show you how it's done. So this was definitely something that's requested a lot, and I wanted to be able to save you guys a lot of money. The best thing about having a DAW is that you can recreate some of the best, coolest experiences. You know, instruments, there's VSTs for everything. You want a Rhodes sounding thing. Of course, nothing is going to be like the real thing, but you know, if you can't get your hands on the gear, like me, for example, there's no way I'm going to buy a Rhodes, especially when I don't even know how to play the keyboard. Anyways, let's find some chops. I like that.